Welcome to my first video. I listen to a lot of music and wanted to recommend artists, those being either big or small. And as I like scoring things, I decided I'd do that at the same time. This will be based on like a 1 to 10 system. 1 being absolute trash, 2 being very bad, 3 being bad, 4 being meh, 5 being straight mid, so no positive, no negative thoughts in general, 6 being okay, 7 being good, 8 being very good, 9 being great or amazing, and then 10 is basically a perfect or a masterpiece, or just too good to be a 9, so kind of like a 10 minus. My favorite track on the album, if the album wasn't so bad that I didn't have a favorite track, will be marked with a star. These won't be like full album analysis. I like analysis videos, but sometimes I don't want the full details, just the kind of score and some quick pointers. And I thought, there might be other people who also kind of like those videos. Lastly, I'm 100% gonna butcher the genres as I'm not like an expert, but I just like listen and like the stuff. So a lot of them are gonna be found online. It'll probably be something along the lines of what I found. So the first album we have is Forma Norte 2 by Forma Norte, and this was released in 2022. It's hypnagogic pop, psychedelic folk, and gothic rock. It's quite a short album, about 13 minutes long, and most of the tracks are around like a minute to 2 minutes. It's relatively mellow, has some interesting effects, and it's got some nice sounds and instruments. I've given it a 7.3 out of 10. The next album we have is Argus by Wishbone Ash, released in 1972. This is a progressive rock, folk rock, hard rock album. This album has like such a good start. It's got insane guitar. The guitar solo on track 2 should have just kept going at the end, but obviously they faded it out. At first I wasn't a big fan of the vocals. That did change quickly. The lyrics and Warriors started out good, but I didn't like the chorus, and it just kept repeating. I gave this one an 8.1 out of 10. The next album we have is A Bent Wing on Curved Light by Bosarge. That came out last year. Not quite sure what genre that is. I couldn't find it, but I highly recommend it anyway. It's very chill, some great harmonies, and a lot of the tracks you'll think will be finished or kind of stay the same, but then it just hits you with something new and just keeps going. This one I've given an 8.8 out of 10. Then we have Wave Your Moonlight Hat for the Snowfall Train by You'll Never Get to Heaven, which came out in 2021. This is an alternative indie album. This one's also more on the shorter side. It's quite melancholic with some soft vocals. Has a great first track. It has some great poetry, even if it is sometimes hard to understand because it's relatively quiet or the music is just a bit too loud. But the ambience of the album and the tracks fits the mood of the poetry great, and it has some really nice ethereal instrumental. This one I've given an 8.9 out of 10. The next album is Pleasure by Pure X, which came out in 2011. This is an alternative French indie album. I don't have much to say here, it's quite chill. I wasn't really a fan of the vocals sometimes, mainly in like the higher sung parts, but it has nice guitar sounds which create a nice ambience. This one I've given a 6.9 out of 10. Then we have Looking for a Band by Userband, which came out in 2024. This is a French band, and it's kind of like French pop, and according to Discog, in like a ballad style. Like, I swear I looked everywhere, I couldn't find anything else on the genre. This has a nice intro leading into the first track. I really like the mix of French and English lyrics, and it has a very crisp bass sound and great drums. This one I gave a 7.6 out of 10. Next up is Ominous Prominence by Fomies. This came out in 2023. It's French indie, Spanish rock, and Russian rock. It has a great mixture of instruments, nice drumming, a very nice kind of punky sound, and I've given it an 8.5 out of 10. Next up is Fabulous Soundtracks by Jack Name, which also came out last year. This is like an alternative indie dance electronic song, and natural sounds as a genre. There's quite mellow, kind of ethereal sometimes. It has some very eerie vibes, some nice lyrics and interesting production, and the songs fit well together. This one has a 7.9 out of 10. Then we have I Saw You in My Shadow by Starla Online, which came out in 2022. This one had a lot of genres. I'm just going to list them. Art pop, synth pop, sophisti-pop, progressive pop, hypnagogic pop, bedroom pop, and minimal wave. It's very funky and bright. It has some very pretty and warm vocals. I found the vocals and instruments were timed very nicely. I gave this one a 7.6 out of 10. Next we have Sons of 1973 by Satellite Lovers, which came out in 1996. This is a Japanese city pop album, and Shibuya Kai. This one had some lovely vocals. It's very funky with some great mixing. It has some great trumpet sounds and a mouth harmonica. I really enjoyed the switch between English and Japanese in the lyrics. The rap also sounds great. And I wanted to point out, don't listen to the version on Spotify because it's just uploaded by some random person who has nothing to do with the band. You can find a version on YouTube. This one I gave an 8.6 out of 10. I plan on making more of these, so if you did like them, if I did find that audience, then please stick around. If you listen to any of these albums and you don't agree, or you do agree, feel free to comment on that.